race fans, let's talk a little late model action here from the past couple weeks, and then we're going to get to this week's power rankings. So let's start with some Discount Shop Towns Dirt Kings late model series over in eastern Wisconsin. Last Friday, Nick Anmelink made the trip actually down to the Sycamore Speedway in Illinois. The first trip, I guess, for the Dirt Kings out of the state of Wisconsin, and he redrew. He started 12th. Tough field of cars. Didn't matter. He drove to the front, parked it in Victory Lane, and just really solidifying a great season. Went to Wilmot, Wisconsin the next night. The lights went out. That ended that. And then this past Saturday, he put a stamp on the season. He won the series finale over at the Outagamie Speedway in Seymour. Nick Anmelink is king for 2021. The John Seitz Memorial up at the River City Speedway in Grand Forks, North Dakota. It was the A.J. Demel show. He flat out dominated all weekend long. He won the Prelude to the Johnny, and then he absolutely put a stomping on him in the 9,200 to win John Seitz Memorial. I think he lapped, I believe it was 6th place, 7th for sure. Got into a guy that he was lapping at coming across the line, but he was flat out gone. I mean, just absolutely killed him. And a side note on that, night one, the Prelude to the Johnny was the finale for the NLRA series. And Mike Gresseth, I believe he got 5th place in that one. That locked up the 2021 NLRA Late Model Championship for the rookie from Harwood, North Dakota. Congratulations, Mike Gresseth. Now, the Russ Larson Classic up at the Northern Nationals at the Gondikwa Speedway. The Double One Express doubled up, parked in Victory Lane both nights up in Superior, Wisconsin. Night number one, a great race with James Nitro G.O.A.T. Super dry, slick. G.O.A.T. threw a slider, door, able to cross him over, never looked back, got it done. Night number two, luck was on his side. Derek Vessel had it. It was over. I think the bottom was just starting to latch down just a little bit, and then it started to rain. Washed that little bit of a rubber off the track. Vessel kind of made a miscue on the slick track, didn't know what to do in the rain. Door went up around all of them, drove to the wind, and he doubled up. And he even mentioned that Victory Lane that might have had a little help. So it is what it is. You'd rather be lucky than good, but Pat Door's flat out good. So when you're lucky and good, that's even better, and that's what happens. Door has really, really put together a good season. Now, last Thursday up in Winnipeg at the Victory Lane Speedway, Jesse Tennis. I believe this is his first career late model feature win. Congratulations up north of the border. Now, let's jump into the 100s here from this past week. Let's start with the legendary 100 over at the Cedar Lake Speedway. Of course, they had prelim nights on Thursday and on Friday. They had the finale on Saturday. Night number one, well, you guessed it, A.J. Demel. He has been rocket fast. He earned the pole with his win on Thursday night. Night number two, and it looked like Pat Door had it won. He was driving away. It looked like he had it pretty well in hand. Got into a parked car that was, lapped car that kind of broke, got into him and ripped the spoiler off. And he's like, I guess there's more work for my pit guy there, he said. And just it is what it is. So he pulled off, but Daryl Nelson, he parked it in Victory Lane on night two. And in the finale, A.J. Demel continues to be dominant. I mean, he lapped 7th place and was flat out gone. Daryl Nelson snuck by Pat Door on a late restart for Nick Panitsky, who was the last car on the lead lap. He was 6th. I was kind of wondering, Puka mentioned on the show, Panitsky spun out and got a spot back. It's like, well, there was only 6 cars on the lead lap. That's how fast Demel was. But keep an eye. This Nick Panitsky, this is somebody that I didn't know. Looks to me like he's a converted asphalt guy. I got to learn more about this guy. I'm telling you, looking at his numbers, his stats, and watching him race, this is a guy that's going to win some races. He is really, really good. I'm excited to have another quality late model driver in the area. This guy looks like he could fit the bill. Now, the Wissota 100 over at the I-94 Sure Step Speedway in Fergus Falls. They had 3 prelim nights, and then, of course, they had the Race of Champions and the finale. Night number one, the track owner himself, Don Shaw, cruised to an easy win. Gets second at the sights. I mean, this guy's incredibly fast, limited schedule, and he was flat out gone on the high side. Night number two, the national point leader, Cole Searing. He holds off some 28 guy from Wisconsin. Oh, yeah, Jimmy Mars. That's never easy to do. So congratulations, Searing, on getting that one done. Night number 3, Travis Budaslavich, who incidentally night 1 was leading the heat, got a flat tire. So he might have maybe won night 1. He had to wait to night 3. He parked in victory lane, got himself a front row starting spot, and, and then he actually won the Race of Champions as well. So a great night for Travis Budaslavich in the 31. And then the finale, a great race over there in Fergus Falls. Jimmy Mars took off and he won. He won the feature, and everybody's like, well, you get Mars in the front, he's going to be gone. And he did drive away, but Dave Moss found something on the high side and had it in flat out kill mode and chased him down. Could not clear a lapper. The lapper was just right in that line, and he just was not able to maneuver by him. Jimmy Mars held on, but a great run for Dave Moss getting second. Now, let's talk about what's coming up. We got 8 possible shows left for points, for WISSOTA points. And there's this weekend, you got the Punky Manor Challenge of Champions over at the Red Cedar Speedway in Menominee. Heats Friday, features Saturday. I believe Jesse Glenn's might be the reigning champ of that. But, man, the smart money's got to be on 58. He's been so dang good as of late. So keep an eye on that. It's on Dirt Race Central. The Casino Speedway, they have the 4th annual Autumn Classic, 2 complete shows Friday and Saturday out in Watertown. And your number 1 and number 2 drivers in WISSOTA, Chad Becker, of course, second, and Cole Searing, number 1. They'll both be there. Scott Ward, the Wild Child, doubled up last year, so that should be good racing action out there. And then the Jamestown Stock Car Stampede, the 50th annual. Can Cole Schill make it 3 years in a row? Can he do it? I know Ryan Michelson was really good there as well last year, so it should be some good racing up in Jamestown. And then Sunday, a standalone show over at the Granite City Motor Park as well. Racing coming right down to the wire. Cole Searing really in the driver's seat for the national championship. It would take a minor miracle. Becker will have to sweep the weekend and then decide if he wants to race anymore, because he's kind of had a rough couple weeks. But tell you what, it's about as close to over as it could be. So let's get to it. The September 23rd edition of the BuyRaceShirts.com One to Go Show late model power rankings. At number 10, Don Shaw. Man, I had about 3 or 4 guys, and I'm like, I just don't know who I put here. There's a few that I bumped out, a couple that might actually be worthy of being in the top 10, but it's some people kind of stepped up here over the last month or the last few weeks. So Don Shaw, no, he got second at the sites. He one day won of the 100. Of course, he broke a motor in the feature. He's got 8 wins on the year and like 20 shows. I mean, when he unloads, that 42 is crazy fast. Not sure where he's going this weekend, but you can count on him being up front wherever it is. At number 9, Derek Vessel. Seems to always be in the top 5. Kind of has the Jeffrey Massengill effect from last year. Massengill didn't have a lot of first and seconds and podiums, but a ton of fourth and fifth place finishes. And that's where Derek Vessel is. He's always there. He's always in the conversation. Like in all these specials, he's right around the front, and probably should have won the Northern Nationals if not for the rain. And he could be a dark horse pick for the Red Clay Classic up in Ashland. At number 8, James Nitro G.O.A.T. Only one of his last 8 outside the top 5. Kind of the same deal as Vessel here, right? 3rd at the Silver, 2nd and 6th at the Northern Nationals, and he's always in the conversation. He did this last year as well. All the specials at the end of the year, top 5 finishes. He was there every single night, and I don't expect anything different. Nitro Nation is for real. Number 7, Travis Budaslavich. 7 wins. A really nice season he's put together, including the Silver 1000 and day 3 of the WISSOTA 100. Add on top of that the Race of Champions wins. The only thing he's lacking is the consistency. He's only got 9 podiums. So only if he's on the podium, he wins. Otherwise, he's got 2 podiums. That's it, right? So he's got to get more solid in the top 3, top 4 to really be in the conversation. But he's got the speed. He just needs a little bit more consistency. At number 6, the Hermantown Hammer, Darrell Nelson. Structural Buildings WISSOTA Late Model Challenge Series champion for 2021. Labor Day shootout win. He got 2nd at the Legendary 100, 6 wins on the year. Daryl's really put together a nice season. Remember, last year, he was the fastest late model without a win, right? And he fixed that. He's got 6 wins, including some pretty big ones this year. Nelson put together a good season. He's at number 6. At number 5, the Double One Express, Pat Dorr. Now, I'm telling you, this top 5, you can almost put them in a bag and just draw names out of a hat because it is so dang close, okay? Now, I'm going to read off some stats, and you'd be like, how can this dude not be number 1? Well, part of the reason is he only got 6 wins, right? So the 6 wins kind of hurts him a little bit, but, Challenge Series shows he's got multiple wins there. He got a podium at an NLRA race that he went to. He got 2nd at the 444 Memorial for Tanner Byholm, 2nd at the Twin 25s, 2nd both days at the USA Nationals, 2nd at the Mater, 15th to 5th at the Silver, a 3rd and a 2nd from 10th at the Labor Day Shootout, won both days of the Northern Nationals, 2nd day 1 at the Legendary, probably should have won day 2, and he got 3rd day 3. In his last 22 shows, 18 podiums. Unbelievable. 4 wins, 10 seconds, 4 thirds. I mean, that's a unbelievable season for anybody. But these next guys they're just a little hotter, right? They're just a little hotter. So Pat Dorr's at 5, and that's not a knock on Pat Dorr. I mean, he could easily be number 1, but we'll see how this weekend goes. At number 4, Cole Searing, 21 wins. The biggest knock on him all year long is what can you do against the big competition? Well, he got 3rd at the site. Should have had 2nd, had a little brain fade. He said he didn't realize what place he was in. Seriously, dude, come on, killing me. And then he had a prelim win at the 100, holding off Mars, which was tough. He got 4th in the primary feature in the finale. And, of course, he's leading the national points, 21 wins on the year. I mean, there's nobody else even close to that, right? So, I mean, that alone, and I get it, some of them are low car count, but the last month he's been racing a little higher caliber stuff, and he's been performing. Expect to see him running up front, probably win at least one this weekend in Watertown. Number 3, A.J. Diemel, light schedule. He barely raced. It's like, man, where's Waldo with this guy? 6 wins. I mean, when he unloads, he's there. It's A.J. Diemel. It's what he does, right? Flat out dominate the sites. And, I mean, the stretch that he's put together, it's either 10 or 11 straight podiums, I think is what it is at the sites. I mean, it's unbelievable what he has done over in Grand Forks. And then just dominating the Legendary 100. He's my pick. I'm going to pick him right now. That's my pick to win the Punky Manor this weekend in Menominee. Number 2, the Iceman, Jimmy Mars. 2 $10,000 to win shows. That alone probably puts you first, but, it's hard to knock the other guy off when he won back-to-back races and won a championship. So Jimmy Mars, 2 $10 grand to win shows, including the Wissota 100 and the Mater Memorial winner, which is impressive. Multiple Challenge Series shows. I mean, this guy here, any one of these top 5, they're so good. I mean, they're so good. And Mars is another guy. You can't sleep on him at the Punky. I mean, Menominee, it's Jimmy Mars's house, right? So he's going to be tough to beat there this weekend as well. And I'm going to put Mars at number 2 and at number 1 in the September 23rd edition of the PieRaceshirts.com one-to-go show late model power rankings, Nick Anvilink. 12 wins on the season. He won back-to-back Dirt Kings races, one of them from 12th. He's traveled well. He won one at the USA Nationals. He ran well at the Mater. I think he got 5th or 6th at that deal, so he ran well there. And just an excellent season. Locked up the championship, and it's like, man, you look at the numbers from Beamer, you look at Mars, you look at Dorr, you look at Searing, and it's like, man, should they be ahead of Nick Anvilink? I'm not really sure. But how do you win back-to-back races? We got you at number 1. We can't fade you for winning the last 2 races you were in. So I'm telling you, it is super tight up front. It's going to be interesting to see if Anvilink goes to the Punky and maybe over to the Red Clay Classic. We'll see if maybe that shakes things up a little bit. But he's put together a hell of a season, and he's taking on the top spot right now, Nick Anvilink at the number 1 spot.